Hello and welcome to the Enterprise Fitness video training series. Today we're going to talk about the bars at Enterprise Fitness. So to begin you on this tour, we've got our ease bar, our standard ease bars. Now there's two varieties of ease bar that you can essentially purchase. Both of these are purchased from our friends at Australian Barbell Company right here in Melbourne. There's the silver one, which is a little shorter, and then the longer one, which is obviously a little wider. I prefer personally this one for training the biceps, and this one for training the triceps. So essentially doing things like lying tricep extension, I find this to be a lot better bar. Not to say you can't train it for biceps, but I mean here at Enterprise Fitness with bars, we're definitely spoiled for choice. Then we can go over here, and we've also got an ease bar in a fat grip variation. Now a lot of people often ask us, you know, why the fat grips? Why do we have so many bars and why do we have so many fat grip into alternatives? Well, fat grip training, you know, the research and I suppose the anecdotal evidence to show how effective it is quite apparent. Fat grip training can allow for, if you have any discrepancies from left to right side, allow for that to catch up. So for example, if your left arm is weaker than your right arm, training it with a fat grip implement can definitely help that. Now, researchers are unclear as to why exactly that is. Some thoughts, and I think this is probably the reason why, is that training with a fat grip implement makes you concentrate more conscious, your brain more conscious of what you're actually doing. So therefore you're recruiting more motor neurons and getting a better output on that weaker side. So I really like fat grip training, obviously, and that's obviously why we have so many bars in a fat grip. The other thing you've got to realize is training with a fat implement then going back to a skinny implement is a hell of a lot easier. And also you have to realize all the wrists, shoulder stabilizers do get worked a lot harder. So next in our series of bars, we've got our Poliquin Kettlebells. Now these are from our friends at Watson's Watson's Custom Strength in the UK. The reason for these Poliquin Kettlebells, mainly I use them either for curls or for lat raises, okay? The reason for these, as you can see, the implement is under my arm the whole time, which means it changes the strength curve. So if I'm doing a curl, you know, most of the time when you're doing a curl, it's easiest at the top. With Poliquin Kettlebell, once you're at the top, the strength curve is actually changed and it's actually pulling you down. So it's allowing for maximal tension and, you know, I suppose, contraction at the top. So it makes it a little harder. Quite a neat tool. The next bar is the Dr. Tom Combo Bar. This is used for a number of things. Probably my favorite is lying tricep extensions, where obviously you're lying down and extending through. But other things not to be underestimated with this bar is, you know, you can definitely do upright rows. Shoulder presses are very good with this bar, especially if you've got some narrow framed clients, because it fits perfectly in. So I really like this bar. It has a lot of uses, but I mainly use it for tricep training. Then of course, just a standard fat straight bar used for all sorts of things from deadlifting to pressing. This bar is this is a tricep bar and it's a lot harder than it looks. This hits the outer head of the tricep. If you do something like a French press with it, it's a lot harder. The bar actually, it's a decent weight, the bar alone, but it really puts the tricep into a very disadvantaged position, which is obviously what you want to do in strength training. You want to train your weaknesses, but obviously you can do things like curls with it, and also, you know, upright rows. But again, mainly the reason why I like to use it is the triceps. Next in our series is a dual bar. Again, this is more for, well, we use this for a lot of things, from pressing, lying presses, to close grip curls, to even sometimes we do tricep extensions with it. But it's a great, just good solid bar. I really like this bar. This bar is great for shoulder training. This is the ultimate combo bar. Also use this when we do pressing for different variations in terms of grips. But the reason why I like it for standing pressing is because it's got the hole in the neck. So a lot of the time, you know, see, I can sit that there comfortably and press straight up. Okay, a lot of the time, if we're doing, you know, if we've got another, say a Swiss bar, the bar's out here and it's not very comfortable, whereas this bar, we can sit it right in and press straight up. So I really like this bar. Again, multiple different handles that you can use. Also, you could use it for something like curls. And again, the benefit of this bar is I do use it for curls. I can go straight through, doesn't hit my neck, a fuller range of motion. So a really neat bar. Actually, if I was on a budget and I could only pick a couple of bars, I would definitely include the Ultimate Combo Bar as one of them. So if we go over here, we've got a couple of bars out, which I'll go through in a sec. But now we've got the safety bar. The safety bar, if I just actually grab Danny, and Danny jumps in and we can have a look at it. This bar alone, it weighs 30 kilos. We got ours from Watson's Custom Strength again. So she faces the other way. So walk through, yep, and she's gonna walk through straight in, put the bar on her shoulders, perfect, and then just perform a squat. So as you can see, if someone does have a shoulder injury, I'll help her off. So tippy toes, it's a little bit high for her, but that's okay. Just for the demonstration. And she just performs a squat, as you can see, and straight back up. All right, perfect. Put it back in. So as you can see, if someone has a shoulder injury and they can't bring their arms back, the safety bar squat is perfect for that. It also centers the load a little bit more to the front, so anyone with any lower back issues, it's going to alleviate and it's going to be a lot more beneficial to them. But I really like the safety bar squat, especially if you're predominantly a quad squatter. I think it's a perfect implement. Then if you look on the floor, we've got 5 bars out. Now, to a lot of people, these just look like 5 bars, right? But they're actually not. They're 5 different bars. This bar here has a custom knurling on it. It's from Australian Barbell. This is what you'd call a power bar. If you drop it, it pretty much doesn't rattle, it just goes straight down. This bar is an Aleyko weightlifting bar. If I drop it, see there's a little bit more vibration to it. This has bearings in it, so if you get a shot of this, if I do that, see how that spins? That has bearings at the end. If I do this to this bar, it doesn't really spin that well. That's because this bar is made for weightlifting. So this bar is made for your cleans, your snatches. This bar is made for bench pressing. It's made for deadlifting. It's made for squatting. Not to say you can't squat and bench press with the other bar, but you certainly wouldn't want to clean or snatch with this bar. The reason is because it doesn't spin. So this bar is definitely the way you want to go. I prefer it for front squatting as well. This bar is just the Australian barbell variation of a weightlifting bar. Has a beautiful spin on it as well. This is the Aleyko Powerlifting Bar. A very, very dense bar, much like the Australian barbell one. Probably a little bit more denser in the bar. Aleyko makes some really nice bars. And then finally we've got the female weightlifting bar, another very nice spin. But the difference is with the female bar is a smaller diameter, which means that females obviously have smaller hands, weaker forearm flexors, so using a smaller diameter really helps for their deadlifting and cleans. So a very nice bar in that as well. If you come over actually here, we've then got, if I actually grab Danny again, just to demonstrate the body development bar. The body development bar actually comes with a few different custom handles, so if I get Danny to pick it up. Now again, you can do a variety of different exercises with this bar. The neat thing is that the handles actually turn. So we can get her to start pronated. So if she starts pronated like this, then if she does a curl, if she turns her hands and come up, perfect. So one of the problems with this bar I find in doing curls with it is if someone's, and you saw it a little bit happen with Danny just then, if their wrists aren't strong enough, do it again. Because the implement is far out from the hands, the wrists kind of buckle just a tiny bit, but if you're strong enough to do it, it's a great implement. I really like this bar for pressing, but again, if I was on a budget, it's not a must-have in terms of the, in my opinion, the body development bar. I like it. We don't use it all that often here because we have so many other bars to use, but it is a good bar if you are in a, if you want a bar that kind of does a lot of things fairly well. So you can pop that one down again. Obviously, before I go into the next one, we've got here the Cambered Bar. The Cambered Bar I've spoken about on previous videos. You can have a look at it here. And the Cambered Bar, again, it's great for pressing, it's great for squatting. It allows a maximal range of motion when you do it. You can check out some of our other videos of me explaining a Cambered Bar. Then we go over here, we've got what's called the Tsunami Bar. The Tsunami Bar is one of those new bars that, it's one of my recent purchases actually. This is plate loaded, so we put plates on both ends, and the further out you put the plates, the more of I suppose a wobble or tsunami as you'd call it, it creates. Now personally, I like this bar for stronger athletes, or for weaker athletes for the lower body. But I wouldn't really use this bar for females training the upper body. They're just simply not a lot of the time strong enough to get the full wobble effect out of this bar. So definitely for legs, I like to do things for it, for especially the physique athletes that we train here. I like to do things with it where, I'll get them from a back squat or a front squat straight into a Tsunami Bar squat. And again, when they're doing the Tsunami Bar squat, the bar basically rattles back and forth, so it creates a very kind of unsettling effect in the muscle. It's a very cool bar to implement. One of my favorite bars for a beginner client in teaching the upper body is the bamboo bar. If we grab Danny again just to demonstrate an overhead shoulder press. Before she does, if I just demonstrate, you've got here the kettlebells, and that's how you attach weight to the bamboo bar. The bamboo bar by itself weighs 2 kilos. Just 2 kilos, folks. It's not a whole lot of weight there. But adding this can make it feel like seriously 40 kilos. I mean, we've only got 16 kilos on the bar, but you would be surprised. The difference with this bar to adding, say, just this implement to a barbell is the bamboo bar, it has a vibration. So this, essentially, the vibration of the bands passes through the bars, and it creates a very, I suppose, oscillating effect on the bar, which then you have to control and stabilize. It's not so much for building strength as it is building stability in the muscle itself. And this is why I love it for scapular training and also training the shoulders in teaching someone to stay stable before getting them strong. So if Danny, you demonstrate this one. It's great on bench pressing as well, great on shoulder pressing as you're about to see. So if she comes up all the way over her head, see as it wobbles, and it wants to wobble her into the position where she's actually weakest, which is a little bit further back. She can do a couple more. Just give her 3 more, just to demonstrate, keeping your legs perfectly straight and straight back up. And obviously as she does that, the kettlebells have a little bit of a kick to it too, pulling her back, so her lower back is having to work, her glutes are having to work as well. And push up again, up, nice and high, all the way up. Seeing her abs are now kicking into play, and back down. So it's not really just her shoulders, it's not just a strength issue here. And back up. So in terms of teaching a client, again, if I was on a budget, extend your arms right out, right out, right out, and already she's starting to struggle with it, which is great. It's great to see. Back down. So you can see the effect of this bar quite significantly, and she racks it back. Perfect. So that bar, as I said, if I was on a budget, maybe not the first purchase I would make, but I would definitely look at purchasing the earthquake bar, as they call it, or bamboo bar, because it has a great effect in training beginner clients. I hope you liked the tour. We've actually got a fair few more bars that I could continue talking about all day, but it's probably enough for now. Like us on YouTube and subscribe to us on YouTube and like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching.